You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello, it is Monday the 1st of July 2024, you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. July, I've been doing this rubbish since April, but then I've actually achieved some things in that time. And as I say, this is, it's nice when people listen to it. I mainly do it, I don't know, it's almost like holding myself accountable to make sure that things I say I do, I actually do, because ridiculous as it seems, if I say I'll do something on here, I kind of feel I have to. So I'm going to win the lottery next week. No, seriously. Yeah, so it's been good. Yeah, in that time I have nearly finished the first draft of Empress of the Trees, and I have sent the English Hikikomori off to some agents in the hope of getting some representation to try and sell it. So yeah, so what have I done today? Well, not that much, not as much as I thought I was going to be doing. So we had our flight, I think I already said this on the podcast earlier, but we had our flight cancelled earlier today. So we ended up bringing a later flight back home, still working. But it also meant the other two flights we were due to do today were going to be much too late for. So I didn't end up doing them. So it was going to be a long day today. I was going to be doing 3 flights. So I'd sort of planned maybe to stay at the Premier Inn in London near the airport to save myself the drive home. But actually, I wasn't that tired, having only done the one flight. So I've actually come home, which is quite good, because I took enough uniform shirts with me, and discovered that, because I try and dry them outside in the garden, and had exactly the right number of shirts for the number of days I was working. And yesterday, whilst I was ironing my shirt, I discovered that a bird had blessed one in a certain way that a bird can, that leaves a big dirty stain. So I wasn't able to wear that shirt. So I came back home today and I put all my shirts in the washing machine, and they're washed and they're clean. And then I've just ironed one 3 times, or 3 times, to make sure that then I've got enough to take away with me. So I'm working after today for another 3 days. So tomorrow I'm going to Milan and back in the morning. And then I'm having a Manchester night stop, which is quite nice. I've got a friend in Manchester, and I've actually forgotten to tell her that I'm going to be there. So I might send her a message tomorrow and just say, because our hotel is quite near where she works. So I'll just say, if you're about, great. If you're not, no worries. We can have something to eat or something to drink or whatever. Kind of a late night again, because we've got an early start coming back from Manchester. And then we're off to Athens. And it's quite a nice one. It's what we call a fixed link. So instead of arriving at the airport, getting the passengers off, getting off the plane, and then having to check in and do a different flight, we stay with the aeroplane. And I don't know if the flight crew do as well, but quite often they do. So all the crew basically stay with the aeroplane. So we literally arrive from Manchester. We help the passengers off. We make sure that the plane's in a fit state, cleaners and stuff come on, we do security checks, and then more passengers come on and we fly off. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing on Wednesday. So that's going to be nice. And then Thursday, we leave relatively early, but not ludicrously early, from Athens and back home in time to watch the interminable mess that's going to be the general election, which, as I say, I'm really looking forward to watching it. So on Thursday I'm going to sort of have a little sleep at some point, because in the afternoon, because I want to stay up and watch the results come in. And it's always a bit of a funny one, because there's 1 or 2 constituencies that like to hold the record. And I can't remember what it is, but I think it's something like 37 minutes after the polls close, they'll release the first, their result. And of course, it's always very interesting, because it's the first indication of whether the exit polls are correct. So, if they're predicting a certain swing towards one party, this first result that comes in gives you a snapshot of whether that might be right. And of course, it doesn't actually tell you an awful lot because you don't know that every other constituency is going to repeat that swing. But it gives them an idea about whether the predictions they've made are by and large borne up or not. And so there's a couple of, I think, constituencies that get their results in quite quickly. I think there's usually a bit of a race to be the first one done. And then after that, there's quite a long gap. And I think the results start coming in at like 2 a.m, and it's going to be very interesting because they do say there's a chance our Prime Minister may lose his seat, which is going to be very interesting if that happens. So yes, again, this isn't about writing. I won't be doing any writing realistically until Thursday at the earliest, maybe Friday. I do want to get some done, but it's just, as I say, today wasn't as much flying as I thought it was going to be, but I've still had to come home, wash all my shirts, iron them dry, and then I've got to go to bed in half an hour. It's 6:30 now because I've got to get up at 3 a.m. because I report for my flight tomorrow at 5:50 a.m. So yeah, that's going to be a nice day though, and tomorrow's going to be all right. The one I'm looking forward to is Athens, because I'm just going to check on my phone, but I'm pretty sure we get into Athens at a time that enables me to actually have a little explore. Yeah, so according to this, we get into Athens about 3 o'clock in the afternoon local time, which is nice, and then we're not picked up until 8 o'clock, 8:30 local time the next day. So actually, that's it's 14 hours, which is, it's all right. Gives me a chance to have a little. Oh no, that's the wrong page. Sorry, hang on. No, it is the right page. Ignore me. Yeah, so it's not ludicrously early like some of the mornings we've had recently have been. So no, that's good. Right, so that's me done for today. I will update you on flying tomorrow and won't talk about writing again. Like I've said before, this is the diary of a wannabe writer, and when I'm doing these little European tours, these bits where we're flying around Europe, I'm doing 3 flights tomorrow. I did 3 flights the day before yesterday. If things hadn't changed, I would have done 3 flights today. So you can understand why I won't be doing an awful lot of writing in these days. But I'll keep doing this, and hopefully in the next week or so we should almost be in a position where first draft of what I've written of Empress of the Trees is done, and I shall start writing some new material, which is going to be interesting in itself. Anyway, thank you for listening. Take care. I'll be back at some point tomorrow. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my link tree at linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.